I'm Anna Zafesova. I'm a journalist and a Russian watcher. I write for Italian newspaper La Stampa, Italian newspaper Il Foglio, and a lot of other think tanks and media outlets.
What was your speech about in today's conference?
I try to outline the complex relationship between the truth and the lie in the Russian system, because when we are speaking about fake news, we usually assume that we know the truth, that somebody else also knows the truth but want to distort it, and so it distorted it intentionally. And the problem in Russia is that the propaganda, the faked reality are produced first of all for Russians themselves, and what we see in the West is a byproduct of this industry, and that they are quintessential to the existence and the survival of the system itself. So it's not just we know we are lying. The point is that a lot of Russian newsmakers and a huge part of Russian public opinion, they are truly convinced that what we call fake news are true news, and we have to deal in the West in the information, but also in the diplomacy, with this alternative, let's put it this way, a vision of reality, because all the world knows that Crimea was annexed by Russia, but Russia is saying that it was reunited, and they stand by it. So before negotiating anything with Russia, we have to find the common language and the common way to describe the things, and we don't find it, because one of the first things that Moscow asks us is to recognize that they are saying the truth. As for example, was the Ukrainian crisis, that the West had to recognize that in Kiev happened the Nazi coup and so on. So that's the problem of dealing with Russia and with the fake news coming or from Russia or not coming from Russia.
Okay, and so you already anticipated a bit, but how do you think the fake news are influencing the international relations, and in specific, how are they going to influence the next European elections?
Well, we have to distinguish between fake news coming from Russia and fake news as fake news, because we have a lot of fake news. Fake news are doing the political campaigns, the electoral campaigns in a lot of European countries, and I'm afraid they will be very relevant in a lot of European countries during the campaign for the elections to the European Parliament. But not all the fake news are Russian. More than that. I think that nowadays the most part of fake news are not Russia, made in Russia, are completely homegrown and are following in more or less the same techniques. But also the Russians follow the techniques of the Westerners. For example, in the inquiry about Russian interference in the U.S. elections of 2016, what the Twitter found out it was that Russians were copying the identified and certified Russian trolls from the famous factory of trolls in St. Petersburg. They were using the same memes, the same code words and the same images that were using the Trump followers.
Okay. And how do you think we can tackle one of those issues?
I'm afraid it's a long-term problem, because we have, of course, we can track the trolls, we can limit the interferences, we can do a lot of technical things, and they have to be done. But the problem is that we were catched completely unprepared, and our audiences were catched completely unprepared. So we have to change anything. We have to educate our readers. We have to educate ourselves, but we have to educate our readers and our audience, because all the saying that it's true because it was because I read it on the newspaper is not true anymore. It doesn't work anymore, because we contributed as journalists, as media. We contributed to this world of fake news, becoming more entertaining, becoming more light, becoming more pulp, becoming more inviting political freaks to raise audience to the TV shows and so on. So we have to set rules for ourselves, and now immediately, and then we have to think how to change the schooling, how to change the approach that the people has to media, to reality. We have to teach. I know some colleagues from the former Soviet Union already are doing this in the schools with the little kids. They are teaching them as a game, to distinguish between news, and to try to analyze, to be critical. And that's the only remedy in the long term.